Hello, welcome to another edition of Inside Email Stack. Today, we are going to talk about LinkedIn and take a look at some of our LinkedIn analytics and talk about if our LinkedIn social media messaging strategy is paying off or not. So, Matt, do you want to kick us off and talk about maybe what we've been trying out on LinkedIn and what we think is potentially working?
Sure. I think generally, just to kind of say, I do believe in a founder LinkedIn strategy, kind of founder marketing strategy. I've seen it. I see other founders that are doing it, and I think it's working really well for them. It does have some negatives, I think, but generally it's positive. So for us to do it, it makes a lot of sense. To kind of try and do it as much as we can. It's interesting when we look at the results to know whether it's actually working or not.
Very hard to know.
And that's kind of where we are. So if I show you what I mean. Okay,
let's pull it up. Okay, here is your LinkedIn analytics.
So here's my LinkedIn analytics for the past 7 days. Which is
7,662 impressions.
Yeah, which is up quite a lot from the last 7 days, which is a bit of not that interesting. What I like about this is that the 7,000 impressions, that's quite low, I think. Generally, you probably want
so?
More. Yeah, I think so. I think if you're taking this serious, you want that to be higher. And I do see other founders that do this that are kind of in the 20 to 50,000 impressions on a weekly basis, if not more. But I've got to be careful not to compare ourselves against those, right? So I'm happy with this because of the amount that it's still reaching, and we were reaching this many people, these I guess are not unique, with pretty low effort. So posting content, it does take quite a bit of time, but it's still something I can control, right? And it is low effort. So it's powerful, and my idea is that if we can get these impressions up to 20 to 30,000 a week each, then that's going to make a significant difference. And the posts that are working for me are a combination of talking about how we're building email stack products, but also talking about general kind of bootstrapping or the changes in go-to-market that we're doing. Both of those seem to be going pretty well. Like the one that I've had the most impressions on was talking about my silly reminder to myself that Figma is very popular, which is quite cool because that's generally true, but also we can talk about I can talk about it, and it does promote the plugin as well.
Interesting. I didn't know that was a popular post.
Yeah. If let's just kind of look at the list.
I find it impossible to know what would do well, though. You know what I mean? Like you had no idea that would get 4,000 impressions before you posted it, right? So it's very very tricky to know what will actually like resonate and take off.
It totally is, and just looking at 90 days, it's also it has the most impressions for the last 90 days as well, which is a surprise to me. There's also one thing in it which they tell you not to do, is that there's a link in it. We're not meant to put links in.
Don't put links. You got to put the link in the comment, is what I've been told.
So, and that's it. I don't know how much of that is true. How obviously the LinkedIn algorithms, well, not obviously, but the LinkedIn algorithm seems to change itself quite often, and changes during the week as well. It's definitely different at the weekend than it is during the week. Of course, some decent comments from people as well, but not that many actually. So it's weird. I would have expected more comments, because if you take a quick look at posts where let me go back here, where I have had a lot of comments. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so similar kind of impressions.
Mm-hmm.
This one, which is over 90 days ago. That's probably why it's not in that last report. But it had 40 odd comments. Okay, some of them are me, 43. Some of them are me
Responding to people.
responding and stuff. Yeah, but so let's say that's 20 comments, 25 comments. That's still pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. So there's a few thoughts I have around it. It's kind of it's good to reach that amount of people. Just to kind of go back to analytics, and that's week. This is weekly, right? So that's total impressions now in a week. It's good to reach that. You do that every week. That's really nice. I also think like people would get hung up on comments or your kind of reactions and stuff. Actually, the silent kind of impressions, the people that see you but don't do anything, I think they're actually the most powerful because likely you're staying top of the mind. And we want our plugin, and we want Email Love, and we want Mailizer, and we want the fact that we know what we're doing, or we think we know what we're doing in terms of growing companies, to be top of mind when people are thinking about that, even if they're not responding. And I think we do that. And we've had comments, haven't we, when we've been face to face with people, and they're like, "Oh, we see you're all over LinkedIn, you two," and we kind of feel like we haven't done that much. We say, as long as it doesn't feel like we're doing too much, which is a difficult balance.
It's like you saw my comment, you saw my post, but you didn't like it or comment on it. So like people are obviously like seeing them, but not necessarily engaging with them.
And I think that's very common. I think a lot of people are probably kind of scrolling on LinkedIn and just don't really interact and don't put stuff out there themselves. So I really like this. I think this is good. A couple of things for me about it as well that's a kind of personal. It's a good exercise for me to write content. I find writing very difficult, just for various reasons. So getting thoughts onto paper and writing paper, old school.
Are you using AI to help you write these?
Yes, definitely. And I'm trying my hardest not to just go to ChatGPT, write me this LinkedIn post. I'm trying to write it myself and then get it to improve it.
You know what you could do is record yourself as well and just upload the transcript, because I find that even faster than writing it. I just like talk to a Loom video and then copy the transcript.
Well, actually, you can also talk directly to ChatGPT. So I've been doing that.
Oh, I didn't even know you could do that.
And it does a pretty good job of translating. It does. So you just press record and then you start talking. It turns that into a transcript, and then I say, make that a LinkedIn post. I've done that a few times, and that's worked pretty well.
Yeah, because that's your at least that's your original thoughts, and can tell your tone of voice from the transcript.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do in Claude is you can create I think you can do this in ChatGPT as well. You can create a project with your previous posts, so it can use that for inspiration and kind of get an idea of like how you write. Is also useful.
And I sometimes read after I use ChatGPT mainly. After it's done that, I read it and go, that sounds like ChatGPT, or that does not sound like me. So I do actually go back and make the grammar worse because that sounds like me.
Yeah.
So if anyone's trying to learn grammar off my LinkedIn post, they should not
put a few typos in there just to make it look more human.
Exactly. The typos I do correct. It's the grammar bit that I kind of don't, because actually how you speak is sometimes not great grammar, right? So it wouldn't be written down well. So yeah, and I do see that with other as well, like with other people that are pretty good at this. And I did ask that question. That was quite a fun LinkedIn post that I did. So the experts tell you that you should have one content track, right? That you then create lots of variations of posts about. And I've got two really. So one is about email marketing and how you might kind of use our tools to help you if you're an email marketer. And then the other is, hey, B2B founder, here's some stuff that I learned along the way and stuff we're learning now that might help you. So it's kind of 2 tracks, 2 ICPs maybe. So I did put that post out and say, should I just pick one? And I tagged a few of the experts in there. All of but one replied, which was very nice. And they all said, no, do both, it's fine.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I would have thought they would say focus on one, but
they all kind of had the same response, which was focus on, you can do both as long as you have got enough content to talk about both. And I think maybe that's why they suggest one, so you don't kind of get fatigue in writing that content. But the 2 that I'm talking about, I've got loads of thoughts and loads of content that I can create. I think like I like both those things. Like I don't get bored of talking about them or writing them, right?
Yes, I think that's the key.
Yeah.
You want to be writing about something that is interesting to you.
And I think how it works. Sorry, I was going to say it works quite well for us, right? I think because we don't coordinate our LinkedIn posts, and we probably should coordinate a little bit more our LinkedIn posts. But I think right now it works. Do you go a bit deeper on email marketing and a bit deeper on email love, and I kind of, and then what changes are being made to the plugin and updates are being made to the plugin and stuff. You go a bit deeper on that because you're closer to that than I am, and then I kind of talk about a bit more top level, I guess, and that seems to work well, I think.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like if you look at can you see my analytics now?
Hold on.
So this is from the past year. So my best one was this Zoom post, 13,000 impressions, 220 comments. So this was a post where I'm saying comment to get the file, which is basically a breakdown of Zoom's like lifecycle email marketing strategy. That one performed really well. I don't know. I've done it again since. I guess this one worked pretty well actually. The abandoned cart one is more recent. I guess it was 7 months ago now. Wow, it feels like it was the other day. These are a lot of work. Like I've got to put together like huge Figma file and like curate the content, and then so obviously it's like a lot of work, but obviously it can be worth it, I guess.
I guess the real question is it worth it there?
Well, hard to know. Does it result in sales or anything? Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to know.
Yeah, I don't think we know yet. I think it's too early for us to know that.
But then I've done a post like this one here, interactive email alert, which is like basically I find an interactive email on emaillove.com, take a screenshot, I turned it into a GIF. You can kind of see it moving there, and then like posted it quickly. And that one, obviously it's not quite as high as these top 2 in terms of impressions, but significantly less work.
Yeah.
And then I'll do stuff like I posted like the email love hat, and that also performed really well. So like you don't necessarily have to spend weeks like producing something to get good results. Some of my best, or like some of these top performing posts, I wrote them in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of a really good point, because maybe the experts or the traditional way of doing stuff on LinkedIn is spending quite a lot of time on the content. The theory was always it needs to be really quality content, but I imagine that you're not alone in the fact that someone's probably written a post in 3 seconds, put it up there, and it's got loads of.
It's gone viral or something.
Yeah, exactly. Now, whether it being viral actually creates business, be really interesting to see how it develops. I don't think you and I have.
I don't think it does. I think that's what they say. Like you could go viral and make no sales. Like if you're like an influencer or you're trying to sell something or promote a product.
Yeah. And I think you and I don't have a big enough following yet for the numbers to make sense. I think if we're both above maybe 10,000, and assuming that those 10,000 are over 50% are actually our ICP, which will be email marketers or lifecycle marketers of different kind of seniority. Assuming that, then I think we'd probably start seeing a few more we can actually say this post generated this number of sales.
I am getting fairly close. I'm at what am I at now? 8,000 followers. But I think it might take 20, 30, 50,000. Like if you look at like the companies that drive all their sales through LinkedIn, like the B2B guy is like an example that comes to mind. He has like 300,000 followers or something like this, I think.
I think he has about 150,000.
Okay. He's got over 100,000 people following him on LinkedIn, which is like, that's crazy. I don't even know how did he get to that stage? Is it just like constant posting over time that like it builds up, or how do you get to that level? Because like Chase Diamond, 500,000 people following him on LinkedIn. Like that's crazy. That's huge.
Honestly, no idea. I think it's just consistent posting. I think what the Airbnb guy does quite well is he's quite
controversial sometimes.
Yeah,
he'll get people talking.
Yeah, exactly. And but he did a breakdown of where revenue comes from his new business, and it was something like 50% was coming from his LinkedIn posts. So it works at that level. Although interestingly, when you're getting a lot of business from your LinkedIn posts at that volume, you're going to have a churn situation, because you're going to have a lot of people signing up who aren't necessarily right for the product, because they're following you for another reason, but they might be trying it out, or they might be kind of testing to see how the whole process works, the sign up, the onboarding, everything like that. And I think he does have a bit of a churn problem, and he's talked about that openly. So yeah, that's a negative on that way of doing it. But what I've been doing, or started to do, am I still on the screen?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
What I've started to do is actually add in a track. So any link I put in a post, I'm putting a UTM parameter on it. So if we look at our analytics for the last 28 days, and then under the UTM mat.
Very good UTM code that you've put there.
Thank you. Very original. You can see that during
interesting
54 visits to the site from various LinkedIn posts. But it's not
spending 5 seconds.
Not quality traffic. So that needs improving.
They're like, that wasn't useful. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, cheers. Just wasted 5 seconds of my day there, Matt. Thank you very much.
Although the bounce rate's quite low.
Yeah.
And then they're viewing more than one page, which is interesting.
So maybe they're going.
It's kind of weird that the duration is so low, but they're viewing more than one page and the bounce rate's low, and it's 103 page views. So they're viewing more than one page.
Yeah. So that might mean that the plugin isn't suitable for them, and they're kind of navigating around somewhere else, I guess. So we'll see. I mean, I think I only added it on the last. I think I've only added it on 2 posts. Actually, what I want to do is just actually do it so it's got a campaign as well, so we can separate each post. And I've also added it to this thing.
Oh, your profile.
So now I've got Matt Banner as the UTM.
Interesting.
Because I'm interested to know how many people click on that too. So I was about to say you should do the same, right? So we can kind of see what actual traffic it is driving us, and then we can kind of revisit this chat in a couple of months and see what we reckon.
The other thing you said the other day is we should embrace cringe content.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm not I'm not personally on board with being trying to be cringe, but I do know it works. Like people, I didn't even know you could have an animated banner. That's kind of
cool. Oh yeah.
Is that it must be a new feature?
I don't know.
I've never seen that before.
It's just there. It's with premium.
Okay. I do have premium. But yeah, what cringe content have you done any content that you would consider cringe?
You know what? I think it's more not necessarily doing cringe content, but I think the thing that people say is kind of success is on the other side of cringe. I think it's more just not thinking that what you're doing is cringy, right? Because even us having a chat now and we're talking about it, you could feel quite cringy doing this. And I'm obviously I'm English as well, so we don't want to talk about ourselves. We don't want to think that we're any good at anything. So that in itself is cringy. Just saying, oh, we've done this and it works quite well. You know what I mean? So I think it's more that than anything. Because there are some times where I'm like, why would anyone care about what I'm talking about? But then that you just got to get over yourself, I guess.
Yeah, well, nobody will watch this anyway, so
that's a good way of thinking about it.
Or like I mean, if you are watching it, it'll be useful for you probably, or interesting for you. The other, yeah, I definitely used to care more about, like I wouldn't want to post stuff because I wouldn't want like my mates to see it, or just like, I have had people I know be like, "Oh, we're posting again on LinkedIn," and it's like, it's like, yeah,
you have to ignore them.
but now I just don't really care. But and I think they just don't like skip over if I post. It's like, yeah, just jog on.
I don't know. There'll be. I mean, that's the thing as well. You can't please everybody, and you can't be liked by everybody. So there will be people that I know that will probably look at what I'm doing and go, "Oh, Matt's banging on about that again."
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, that's okay. And actually, if you make a joke out of it, it's fine. Or you make some fun about it, I think it's fine. I don't think you can get anywhere without having that kind of ignoring some of that. I would like to do a cringe piece of content, actually, going back to cringe. And I'd actually like to do something a bit more. I like the raw aspect of stuff. We've talked about it before. Like we're building in public, but there are some things that we don't share. And I'm wondering whether at one stage we want to get even more raw about stuff. And be
we could do. I don't mind.
A little bit controversial, because there's certain things in email marketing that we know that you could be quite controversial about.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky with the emaillove.com audience. I don't want to like alienate anyone or offend people.
No.
So yeah, that's the only tricky part.
Yeah, I guess it's more if you can find a way of doing it that isn't attacking somebody. It's more attacking that. Not attacking is a bit too aggressive. You're saying something controversial about the industry as a whole. You have to have real confidence and success behind you. The Beehive team, they're quite.
Oh, they crush it. Like I would like to do stuff like them. I find obviously they have a whole team doing it, but like Tyler, the founder, kind of started all of that, right? And he does do controversial stuff, and he attacks Nathan Barry all the time. And he's like created this enemy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like Nathan's seems like the nicest person.
Yeah, I think
it doesn't come across like, I personally think it doesn't come across very good, because like, I'm not going to go and attack someone.
No, and to be fair, he isn't attacking Nathan personally. It's obviously the company. But
he says some things that are pretty like personal to him.
His new target is actually Substack. So
yes, I have noticed that as well.
Maybe they feel like that's more of they've got more of an opportunity there, maybe, to take Substack's customers.
Well, Substack's a good target for them, I think, because they are also slightly different in the way that they work. So I think they've got a good differentiator there. But like we could create an enemy, like I won't say it, but like an email builder could be our enemy, and we
Right.
start creating content of like, this
Yeah.
builder is shit. Like you
Yeah.
should not build emails this way. Here's how enterprise brands are building emails with the Email of Figma plugin.
Yeah. We did it at Kick Dynamic. We had an enemy, and it was the email build process. And I went to a presentation. It was a well-established ESP was presenting to their customers, and they were proud of how complicated the email build
Was it
process was.
Salesforce?
No, worse. And they'd written the whole thing up on this board, this whiteboard, and we're proud of it. Like, look how complicated this is. This is amazing. And actually, we took a picture of it when we were there, and that became actually a deck in my presentations, where I said, this is what people think should happen, and actually this is what should happen, because it saves you time and money. And that was quite nice. And that's the kind of thing I'm thinking, rather than like, hey, this company or this person, more the process.
Yeah, we could make the process our enemy, which actually is a good idea. Actually, we should probably think about how to create content around the existing email build process as the enemy, and create content around that.
I think that would be quite interesting for LinkedIn. I think what we're missing, and I think about this, I thought what we were missing before was video on LinkedIn, and I put a few videos up there, and I don't think they perform that well, actually. So I'm kind of less worried about that. But what I think we miss is originality. And I think that's something that I'd like to improve our LinkedIn content with some originality, because right now it's a little bit, hey, we did this and it worked, and I've tried this. And if you think of something original that would stand out, I think that'd be really neat. So that's what I've been trying to work on. I haven't got that far with it. It's difficult.
Yeah, I think we should think about having an enemy to attack in our content. The other thing that comes to mind is LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is a really good social channel, but I've also heard other founders that swear by Twitter or X, and they're like, I would never sell my Twitter following. Like, it's the best thing. I get all my customers from X. And I've tried X, and I find it really hard to get any traction on there. But I do know that some people love it, and they get tons of customers from it as well.
They do, and I've tried it, and I haven't had much success either. No, I'm generalizing here, but I feel like there used to be a really strong building public kind of indie hacker groups on there, and I think that works quite well.
I think there still are, but I think they're more people. They're indie hackers selling to other indie hackers.
Yeah, that's it.
They're not like selling to the people that we are selling to, which is not indie hackers, but it's enterprise companies.
And that's it. Kick Dynamic was enterprise, and our Figma plugin enterprise package is obviously enterprise. And so I don't think enterprise email marketers hang out on Twitter, and in some cases don't hang out on LinkedIn either. To be fair, but it's still a strategy. We need to find the next channel that they are hanging out on, and we know we're doing a bit of a thing on YouTube, right, which I think is a good thing to do. So yeah. Like, I'm not sure X is right. I actually personally can't stand it either. It kind of, when I go on there and start thinking about saying something, I'm easily distracted by stupid videos of stuff.
Yeah, it's also changed. I mean, it's changed a lot in the last few years as well. Just like you go on to an X comment feed, and it's like filled with so many videos and ads that you can't even tell like what the comments are related to the actual original post. And it's there's obviously a lot of toxic content on there as well. From what I've seen.
I actually logged in for the first time today, actually randomly, and saw a few people that I know still there, still kind of writing tweets, I guess. Is that what we call them?
X's.
And the last one I did was a year ago. So that's how long it's been.
Did you try to like actually build a following on X? And
I did, yeah, and I couldn't get it. it wasn't as fun as LinkedIn. I don't know why.
I think you've got to be on there constantly. I think the people that are successful are just like on X all day. They're commenting. They're like,
Yeah.
it's a huge time investment. I think.
Yeah, and they're posting like 10 times.
Yeah, they're posting everything. They're like, I just made coffee.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they like. They come up with. They basically almost like stream a consciousness onto X is what they do. I think.
Yeah, it feels that way.
The other one is Reddit, which I do think is very interesting for us as well. And I do try. You got to be careful how you post on there because you can also get cancelled if you're like promoting your product. But there's also tons of people promoting their products on there and getting leads.
Well, I'm actually running an experiment on Reddit, which I'm not gonna mention now. Just to mention that I'm running an experiment because I want to.
secret.
I know, it sounds mysterious. I'm going to come back to it and explain all. But I read somewhere who had a lot of success, and I thought actually that would fit with what we could do. So I've started running an experiment. So really early so far. 0 results, but it'd be interesting to see. So I'll say, for now.
I think it's a little bit of the same kind of indie hackers selling to other indie hackers, or like, here's my growth tool. I know there's one guy on there at the moment, and he's like, I'm up to 20K MRR in my SaaS, and I only started it 4 months ago. And every time I go on Reddit, he's like posted again about it. I'm like, I don't understand how his posts aren't getting blocked or like removed, because he's constantly promoting his product on there. And I don't even know if it's true. Like I suspect that he's just making up tons of numbers and kind of faking it until you make it type of thing. But he probably does get traffic from Reddit based on that.
He probably does, but I think he's getting traffic that's probably
not very good quality.
Not good quality. And I think that's kind of the point, is like when you build a community like we're doing with Email Love as well, it's about, we don't ask for anything in return. We shouldn't be asking for anything in return. It's, here's all the things that we're providing to you. We want to help you. And yes, okay, we're running some things alongside it, but from a community point of view, like I say, if you're on Reddit offering genuine advice, and you're going to get a much better response than if you're just promoting yourself. I think, especially on somewhere like Reddit, I think LinkedIn, you can be a little bit more self-promoting, right?
Yes.
So, but yeah, with Reddit, I think but I'm really new to it. So I personally have, I also don't use it in real life. If I've got a problem, I don't think, I'll check Reddit and
it's actually really good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I now I'll Google my problem and then put Reddit at the end, because I want to know what real people have done to fix that problem, and typically it's answered on Reddit somewhere.
Yeah, I ended up going down and they've got the Fire Reddit group, whatever it's called in Reddit, which is
like the finance one, like
and I went down that and I just started reading some of the stuff in there and kind of thought, I could spend like a whole year just reading the comments in there. Well, I've got to get out of this. So yeah, okay, it's interesting. I might do that next time. Kind of think looking there.
Yeah, it's definitely got good content on it. I have another question. Yeah, my other question is, how do we know this is even worth it? Like, isn't it, this week I'd spent a lot of time just direct messaging a bunch of people on LinkedIn rather than posting publicly. That could be, I guess we should do both, but like,
we should be doing both. And when you connect with someone on LinkedIn, they automatically follow you, right? So in theory, when they go on LinkedIn,
do they?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I thought they had to like actively follow you.
Nope. When they connect with you or accept your connection or whatever, they automatically follow you. And sometimes if you noticed, if you connect with somebody, the next time you go back on LinkedIn, their post is there, and it could have been from a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So always connecting with people was good, but only if you're then posting, right? So that's the thing. So I think it's a combination of continue putting good content like we are. I hope connecting with the right people that we think would get value out of our products, and then obviously messaging them as well without being too annoying. It is annoying when you connect with someone and then immediately you get pitched via a message, especially if the pitch is kind of a bit aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of like, try my new AI outbounding agent.
Thousands
And
of
it's
those.
just like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I think my theory, and I'm absolutely no expert on this, of course, is that if you say, hey, I connect with you because I think you get value out of our product, here it is. If you want to know more, just give me a shout.
Yeah, right now my message is, here is a relevant part of Email Love where you can find inspiration on like SaaS brands and analytics.
Yeah.
By the way, if you do use Figma, we also have this plugin that might be of interest if you do.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the message.
I think that's nice because a lot of the real strong outbound messages are, can I get on a call with you? And no one wants to get on a call,
Yeah, you've got to just be like, plant the seed, and then if it comes up at some point, they're going to come back to you because they're like, oh, I remember
exactly
the guy messaged me about this. Let me check that out. I think is how it's going to work.
Yeah.
I also don't follow up because like
Mm-mm.
I know you're meant to in sales. I think sales best practices follow up on every message like 4 or 5 times, but I've got, if you look at my LinkedIn inbox, I've got like 10 messages from the same person, and it's like I just would not respond to you.
I don't think it works. No, unless you're offering value. It's something in return. You kind of say,
Not
hey,
like, hey, where are you? Do you want to get in a call?
hey, yeah. I like the ones which kind of like, oh, it's obvious. It's obvious. It's not the right time. It's not even. It's not
Yeah.
that.
How about we catch up in 6 months?
Yeah. But LinkedIn generally, I think, it's very powerful for all of that. So yeah, combination, and it's kind of what we were talking about last time. It's a combination of all of this stuff that works. What I'm now calling all bound, which is my fancy term for
All bound. Okay.
making it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
TM.
Yeah, well, no, someone else has already got it.
Oh, okay.
Stolen it from them.
You don't have you don't own the allbound.com domain?
No, I don't, but I did try and buy it.
I'm not surprised.
My slight domain buying addiction can be out of control. So yes.
All right. Well, I think we can wrap it up. So I think, yeah, we'll continue to post publicly on LinkedIn. We'll try to do some cringy competitive type content. Continue to message people or people that we connect with every week, and then hopefully we will start to see the leads come in as they as it comes up internally for these teams.
I think so. Let's see how it goes. We can revisit. Soon.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Talk to you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.